Hello, guys. Welcome to our Star Wars discussion review. First, immediate reactions towards the newest episode of The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 12, Episode 4 of Season 2, The Siege, which is directed by Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed himself. And I have with me a dear old Star Wars fan that I had the privilege to meet, of all places, at a Star Wars movie marathon where we sat for Jesus, it was what, solid 2 hour 2 days.
Yeah, it was insane.
Oh god, I still have that thing. And
Good time though.
yeah, thank you, Logan, for joining us from Star Wars
Sure.
Doctrine.
Yeah.
And I will link their YouTube channel underneath and chat about it. All right, man. Episode 4, Chapter 12, The Siege. What'd you think?
I just can't help thinking every episode, it just gets better and better. It's a phenomenally well directed episode. Carl Weathers did a great job
Yeah.
directing. It was good. It was fun. It was progressive. It teetered from cute to amazing to exciting. Like everything about it was fun.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic episode.
Yeah, and it's weird because we've done a little bit of revisiting of planets for the past 2
Mhm.
seasons. It was we go back to Navarro, we go back to Tatooine, and my ideal, at least for Tatooine, it was when we went back in episode 1 of this season, chapter 9, if you will. It was
Mhm.
okay, cool. We're going back to Tatooine, but I hope we're not going back to the same well and just do fan service. It was like, no, we're gonna go to Mos Espos, I believe that's the name of the town
Yeah,
of,
most I suppose.
of Cobb Vanth. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna stop by the cantina, but we're gonna go this way, and we're gonna go to a new city that we haven't been to before. We're gonna meet this cowboy guy who I freaked out when I knew the location. I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting aftermath character, and he's got the Boba Fett armor, and then there's a Great Dragon, and there's that shot with the two figures flying. It's like, oh, okay, great. And we go back to Navarro, and I said it, and you guys should check out Doctrine's first our talk about it. We went a full hour, and it was glorious. And that it's Navarro's prosperous. I said it. It was like overcast. There's no more. It's just there's sun. Grief Karga has a new outfit. Cara Dune's the Marshal with the she kicked down the Aqualish like meetup. It was beautiful setting. And we get more information about I more information, but it's another side quest, which I link this show the way I would do Legend of Zelda and Super
Mhm.
Metroid. There is a beginning and an end. You can go straight forward, or you can explore the galaxy and parts that we haven't seen before, and just go there. And I think people would. I want to bring this up now, just get out of the way. People may have problem with filler episodes, which I understand, and I
Mhm.
get that naming that title. But
Right.
I think right now, as we're getting it week to week, it might be like, okay, fun, but let's go back to, spoilers for those who haven't seen the past 3 episodes, which you should be watching. We're gonna go see
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Bo-Katan. But I think that these episodes will be fun to watch, and the pacing of these episodes are quick. They should be fun once you see the whole season back to back binge. I think that's that'll be the strength for those filler episodes, those episodes where we take a little left turn on it and we just enjoy the galaxy. But our episode was about Manda going back to fix Razor Crest and Navarro. He meets up with some old friends, but
Mhm.
there's a mission.
Right.
We need your help. We'll fix the thing. We need your help. You can trust us. We go way back. They want to go blow up an old Imperial facility, and they get into it, but there's some cookie stuff about it. Um, what's let me ask you this: what stood out to you the most out of this episode? Was it an object? Was it a camera movement? What stood out to you?
I think just the overall feeling I got was the endless possibilities that this episode sets up for the overall direction of the show. So
Yeah,
just kind of like, I don't know exactly how I'd sum that up, but yeah, just it felt at the end of this, like you're saying, it's not a filler episode at all.
No.
This is honestly just such a. I know everyone wants to go see Ahsoka, and believe me, I'm pumped.
Yes.
But this episode was probably way more important to the overall storyline and set up so much that I just thought that was, to me, just that feeling of, wow, where next? What does this mean? That was just kind of like that feeling of wow, basically.
It reminds me. It reminds me a little bit of. I'm not gonna compare them, but it did remind me a little bit of the opening of Empire Strikes Back, where it's, Luke is patrolling with his the Tauntaun, and you hear Han talking to him, and then they meet up in the base with Leia, and then it's like, "Where's Luke? He's out. We gotta go find him." And it's the whole. It's about spending more time with these characters and just
Mhm.
growing their relationship. We've been through this, through this. We took down an ATST. I escaped your clutches, Grief Karga, but then we made it work because Baby Yoda healed you and all this stuff. It's spending more time with these characters that, again, 3 episodes in, we haven't seen Cara Dune, we haven't seen Grief
Right,
Karga,
for
and
sure.
like I said, the episode shows that a lot has changed, and who knows? I think Cody, a friend of ours, brought it up that how much time has passed.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely something interesting. Is like from the I think initially when we get the Mandalorian, the first kind of poster, I guess you would say, the advertisements for it.
Yeah,
You know, the what we're seeing the first time this is all coming around. We're seeing Cara Dune, we're seeing Grief Karga, we're seeing IG-88, or
IG
maybe
11.
11. I was
Yeah,
like, my bad, wrong IG.
I
Could have
get
been
you.
IG-88. We had no idea yet. But and Mando, we see these characters, and I think immediately we're like, all right, so this is a band of mercenaries, and they're gonna go out and do this stuff, and that's not at all what happens, pretty much at all. But that vibe of like getting to know these characters and like how fun it is when they're all together. Like I enjoy that so much. So getting to see them, I was like, this is so cool. We're getting to kind of see. I think Cara Dune and Mando have such a good like repertoire together. Like they're fun together. They kind of bounce off each other's personalities. So I just seeing like the gang, to me, what the original gang is probably what we're gonna see, the callback for episodes to come. This is
Right.
kind of the OG group.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to get to see that group, like you see the original trilogy. It's always fun when Luke, Leia, and Han are together, right?
Right.
Even though they're not always together, it's fun when they hop in together and stuff.
Right. Even I think his name is Menthral, the blue guy, Horatio Sands.
Yeah.
Even him being like, because I was worried in the first episode. I'm like, okay, cool, he's a bounty, but he's doing all these lines. I'm like, okay, where's this is gonna go? He
Mm-hmm.
snatches him, and then he pops up again. It's like, oh, okay, we have old history, but this time we're gonna drag you with us to help us out on this mission.
For sure.
Now I'm gonna keep this very just about reactions, immediately reaction out of watching the show, and we'll later on we might change of hearts. We'll see how it feels, but I want to talk about Moff Gideon.
Okay.
And again, for anyone who's watching this, is spoilers.
Tons of
Moff
spoilers.
Gideon, and what did it mean when Mando, Cara, and Grief and Menthral, I believe, all went into that facility room and they see all those tanks, and we realized the Empire has been messing with cloning,
Right.
and it's just getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and things are starting to line up of why the Imperial side of this whole story is being right up on Mando's shoulders. Granted, yes, Bo-Katan got introduced, Ahsoka got mentioned, and that's one way we're going. But in that
Mm-hmm.
same version, a parallel story is being told that the Empire is not done yet with the
Right.
galaxy, and they still have like plans. And Mando just caught himself in the crossfire of all this plan. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. Mando had really no business. He's just a bounty hunter, right?
No,
But he has no business really being in this Empire thing, and we know the Empire stays around. I mean, the First Order and such. But it's kind of interesting, just that I think it's so fun fighting the Empire. I
all
think
right,
it really is. But just to me, it's all about Palpatine. We see Palpatine in the Clone Wars, and I'm thinking of when Palpatine attacks the clone base, right? He sends the Separatists after the clone base, right? And he's working so hard. He's working so many different angles all the time. So Palpatine has always been obsessed with this cloning thing, and I don't know, just kind of seeing like maybe it's coming full circle here with super soldiers potentially, or I mean, we know he gets a clone body, but like,
Yeah.
Where's this all going? Palpatine's, I mean, he messed with super soldiers. That's how you get the Bad Batch already. Like,
Yeah.
Palpatine's always in the works, and it's so interesting always seeing the bad guy, the Empire. And
Right.
it's, I think, fascinating how well Palpatine is told as a villain.
Yes. And I think that what I like about the show so far is that they're not mentioning him. They're just mentioning Long Live the Empire, and Moff Gideon is
Right.
the main focus villain, as we know so far. We still don't know the strings attached behind him or if there is any. But he does have the Darksaber. He is tracking Baby Yoda in the Razor Crest with Mando right now. And I'm still thinking right now as we're talking, what are those things on the wall next to him when the officer came in to inform about we have the tracking and we'll be prepared. What are on those walls? Because they intentionally do a shoulder shot behind one of those suits things to not show us how the front looks. And we just see Moff Gideon just standing there like, like a like a just villain just gloating on like, I am messing with stuff that is gonna work out for me later on. I told you in the previous video that this feels like a solid comic book issue.
Okay.
Where it's like worth $2.99, $3.99, and it's worth every penny. Where it's like each page shows something. As Moff Gideon messing with this cloning program mission. What is, because we know there's been contingency plans for the Empire. We know this. If you're deep into the lore of Star Wars, via video games, books, we know that Operation Cinder, Inferno, there's all these contingency plans, and it's just like, what does this have to do with? And now the fact that they're tracking them, they're heading to Ahsoka, it's just like, we still have 4 episodes to go, and where is this going? And also the fact that he's just messing with cloning programs. He has the Darksaber with him, so he's messing with stuff for the Empire, and he has something to show off that I'm assuming he knows how to fight, and he knows the significance of what this means, holding this sword, taken from a Mandalorian.
For sure. And I think that's just a great point. Is, okay, let's pretend someone's pulling the strings behind Moff Gideon, right? That seems pretty likely. He's a Moff. I mean, Admiral Sloane should be above him at this point. But at the end of the day, like, he's not a slouch, No. He's definitely his own character, and and I think the Darksaber is enough of a status symbol to show that even if there's people above him, that he's well respected and probably very capable of leading his own stuff. I mean, those our scientists reported directly to Moff Gideon, right? As the leader of this project. So definitely interesting how Moff Gideon's being our main bad guy, and what a villain he's turning out to be.
All right, well, that'll be for our first immediate reactions towards episode 4, chapter 12 of season 2 of The Mandalorian, The Siege. Logan, thank you so much for joining me, man.
For sure, man. No problem.
And hopefully I can get a further review, a little bit longer review of in-depth stuff of what a line means later on. And we'll see what happens in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching. This is the way.